So I watched the video multiple times, and I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't think it was real because, of the conversation that me and you had prior to the video being dropped. When the videos were dropped, the first video that kind of like affected me at a sense was the first video when you said that you were single, and I came to you and we talked about it, and you acted like you didn't really care about it at a sense. So I was just at a stage to where I was trying to figure out, okay, should I just give her space, or should I just give you, just bag up a little bit? So that's where I was at mentally. And I was just, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, so she's saying I'm single, so when you single, you do single things, and you don't have anybody to really answer to. So that's where I was at in my mind. And then it kind of like, when the statement was made to me, it was just like, what should I do next? Like, should I do this? And just basically, I was just trying to figure out what was my next movement. And based off the statement that you made, it put me in that position. So basically, after the conversation that we had, when you was like, you're single, da da da, I just decided to bag off a little bit, and not focus on the personal, but focus on the business part. And the business part was the Banana Crew situation that we had going on. And so, like, also with that being said, the conversation that we had before I left to Miami, you made it seem like you just didn't care. So I was like, okay, cool, like, I forget it then. I'm just gonna go to Miami and do my own thing and clear my mind, because it was just so much weighing on me at the time. And when we had the conversation, back to the conversation, it was just a lot of things that I picked up on out of that conversation, and it put me in positions where I was like, okay, since you were saying that you weren't crushing on anybody and that you were single, at first I was going to go home and just to be with my family and hopefully get a little stress off that way. But at the time, Chris also wanted me to go to Miami too, so I was just like, you know what, maybe me and him should go and enjoy ourselves in Miami on the beach. It's like, so I can be able to release some things off my mental that way. So that's what I did, because I felt like you didn't care. So I was just like, it is what it is, I'm gonna just do this. But at first, my first goal was to go to Atlanta, but it took a turn once you mentioned that to me, and it was just like, I was just like, okay, forget it, I'm gonna leave. But after watching the video, I knew then it was clearly a misunderstanding between where we stood and what we talked about prior to the video being dropped. So after watching the video, I knew that it was a major misunderstanding, because I felt like, you put your guard up and you put a wall up, and it was just like no one can get over that wall once it was there. And before we had the conversations of, before I was decided to go to Miami and back home and stuff like that, we had discussions that it was just me and you, and we were going to not let anybody come in between that, because we were trying to build on a bond at that point. So it was just like, after that, I was just like, what's going on? And your guard went up, and it left me in a position to where I really did not know what